I hate sharing my location with people because I hate having to explain myself.
Yes.
What do you think of men having bachelorette parties at strip clubs?
I don't always think strip club equals cheating.
If he wants to cheat on you, he's gonna cheat on you.
A lot of times you can go there, get really cheap pictures of beer, throw ones at people, and it's like a hilarious experience, you know, and it's like you checked the box.
I also think stripping is a form of entertainment. How is stripping different than people going to a fashion show, seeing women walk in lingerie, or going to a concert where someone is wearing practically nothing? Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod. Boom, boom, boom.
Today they're purple.
Yay!
You guys, cheers. Oh, I keep wanting to remind you to not open it.
I know.
Oh, I want the noise so bad.
Cheers.
Cheers. Here, I'll slurp.
Because Mean Girl Pod is presented by Monster Energy Ultra. Oh.
That's right. Every episode, baby, you guys. So that's why our episodes are so good and so high energy and so happy because we are hyped up on our Monster Energy. Mine went down the wrong pipe.
Also, you know, last week I was saying I used to drink these all the time when I would drive to college. The purple flavor was my gateway into Monster. It is so good. It literally tastes like grape.
I was getting grape from this. I was like, yum.
It's ultraviolet, but it is,
I love purple. You bleed purple.
I do bleed purple.
These cans are so you.
They are. I just like, I love the white ones because I think the purple might come in the skinny can too because I just feel like cool drinking out of the skinny cans, but I just love this flavor.
Skinny cans are like modern.
Yeah.
It says like it's a new, it's like a skinny, not a cigarette, but it is when they like modernized it, you know, and they're like, these are healthier. Speaking of purple, tell us about that bruise on that lip.
Wait, that was a good transition.
Thank you. I've been dying to know.
Yeah, so you guys, I talked about getting my lips dissolved last week and I got them done yesterday because Alex was like, let's make it in real life.
Do it for the pod. That was nice of you.
And let me tell you, it was so unbelievably painful.
This is dissolved.
Yep. Oh, well, so I got them done yesterday. She said it could take up to 4 to 8 hours to see the full dissolution of it. But yeah, this is dissolved. That is why I had to get it dissolved because I didn't have that much filler in my actual lip anymore. It moved to the above my lip, which was causing my lip to have like that flip.
Yeah.
But there was nothing actually like in the red part of my lip.
Can I tell you, I thought we had dissolved and put back in.
Oh, no. You can't do that for at least a week.
This looks really good.
But they're swollen right now. So wait until like you see me next week.
She said it hurt like a mother.
I'm not kidding you. Like, so I go to Nurse Tara. She's fabulous and she's so fast. As soon as she put the needle in, it's like a feeling I can't even describe. It's like she's inserting you with like pain and tears. Like I was like bawling, but like I couldn't control it. Mm-hmm. It was so painful. Like I wouldn't wish it upon anyone.
But you said because she's so fast, she doesn't numb you.
Correct.
That's the kicker.
Yeah.
You got it. The girl I went, Brittany was numb.
And it still hurt?
Yes.
And so the bruise is just, I did drink alcohol the day before and you're not supposed to do that.
Oh, I would have drank before.
Right? And it causes bruising. So like this isn't have to do anything with like it being an issue. Like everyone bruises from, you get a needle shoved in your lip.
Yeah, that's just the way. Oh, how long did it take?
Oh, not even 30 seconds.
Yeah, that just hurt. Did it hurt afterwards?
No.
Okay, that's good.
As soon as she pulls the needle out, the pain immediately goes away.
It's just,
but it's like someone's injecting you with pain. I can't even describe it. It's so uncomfortable.
oh, it's so weird, but they're actually removing.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're putting something in you that's literally dissolving something in your lip. Oh my god.
I'm so glad it's over. It looks, but right now I know they're swollen, but it looks great.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't look in the mirror and think, oh, I look different.
At all.
But I think it's because, think about once you get if you get punched in the face, like there's a bruise and your face swells, I think my lips are just swollen.
Right.
So I should know, next week they should look different. And hopefully my bruise is gone. Because it's a gnarly bruise. It's like a perfect circle.
It is. It's a gnarly bruise. Yeah.
From far away, it looks like I have a chipped tooth or I have lettuce in my teeth.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, it's funny though, but if anybody that has it knows. All the girls know.
Yeah, no,
all
literally.
the girlies know. She had her filler dissolved.
But I've never been told that it doesn't hurt. Like even Madeline got her lips dissolved and she's like, it hurts. Just you wait. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, the pack is, no one's like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
That person's crazy. Some people will tell you Botox doesn't hurt, but I've never heard filler dissolved. People get it in their cheek and they'll get it dissolved. Like I've heard of that. And I'm just like, oh, that has to hurt if it migrates down. Yeah, all of it.
I know. it's really opened my eyes to the sacrifice of getting work done. I don't think I will get filler anywhere but my lips because of how painful the dissolvation is.
Yeah. You just don't need it either, though.
No.
You're lucky. You know, some people, like, I do see why you would get it.
Yeah.
But you have, like, a filled good face.
But yeah, migration is just, it's part of the game with filler.
Totally. It will happen.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. And if you just know it, then you can do something about it.
And it doesn't matter how good or bad your injectionist is. It's just based off of like your metabolism, your face, the size of your lips, like what they look like, how they're formed.
Well, I like that mentality because people used to say, oh, it doesn't migrate. It's like, no, it does migrate. So knowing that it will, and then don't go fill on top of it, dissolve it, and then do it again, and then you can keep up with it.
And if there's like doctors out there that say like, you don't have to dissolve it to fix it, they're lying to you.
Right.
Because like migration is just going to keep migrating.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing that putting something in your face is going to move. Just know that.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
No issues. We support the cause.
So I did it for Mean Girl Pod. I got it removed the day before we recorded.
It looks, I know they're swollen. I keep telling myself that. I thought we were refilled, so these look great.
I know, because you saw me like, your lips look great. And I was like, oh, she's just like being nice because I have a bruise. But you thought I had
No, I
filler,
thought you
I'm dead.
removed them and then got them refilled and we were like done. No, okay, they look really good.
I'm curious to see if like Pete will notice a difference because he used to tell me, he's like, I can tell you have filler in your lip when I kiss you.
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if he'll be able to notice. Because if you think about it, it's like, I mean, I can't feel anything anymore. My lips are like soft now.
But were they?
They're like a little hard.
Yeah. I guess you would know, I guess, if you had something and they're plumping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, now they're just like.
But you know, my lip, high school photos of me, I have no lip and I have a lip now. And I think over time, like your lips can change.
Yeah.
So maybe over these past 2 years, like your lip has changed too.
I hope so, because I don't want to get filler again because I never want to go through that feeling. That was horrible.
You might not need it.
I don't want it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where you land with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have great lips.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'll take the compliment today.
I know. I was like, thanks.
Thank you. Do I? Yay me.
I'm done.
Quick pause to talk about Skims because you guys know Jordyn and I love Skims.
I have it on right now underneath.
Do you really? Mm-hmm. You guys know that we've been wearing Skims for a really long time, and today we're going to especially talk about their new perfectly fitting t-shirts. You're obsessed with yours, aren't you?
Oh, I wear mine to bed almost every night.
Really?
Yeah, I was gonna say and to the gym, which is kind of gross, but I do that as well.
It's okay. Go ahead and out yourself.
I would say Skims is the one consistent thing I wear every single day. If it's from my robe to my pajamas to working out in it.
The jersey t-shirt is like a staple in my closet. The cotton one.
Yes.
Yes, you guys, they make the best basics. They make the best everything. So I have the cotton jersey long sleeve and the boyfriend t-shirt, and Jordyn has the same thing. Jordyn has also the long sleeve tee and also the boyfriend shirt. So
yes.
You guys know we talk about Skims all the time. They are the best basics. They are the most comfortable loungewear, robes, you name it. We love it. So you guys can shop the Skims t-shirt at skims.com, now available in double extra small all the way through 4X. If you haven't yet, be sure to let them know that we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. You guys, your summer basics, you need the Skims, so go shop right now. I am so proud of your topic that you put in.
I knew you would be.
I was shocked. I was like, I was going to put that in last week. But then I was like, she'll be bored.
No.
She doesn't care.
We're talking about the WNBA.
Yes.
So I posted a video about it solely based off of the point of me being shocked by how little NBA players make or WNBA players make. I wasn't like throwing out any like crazy statistics other than like, wow, I'm just shocked by the price. The whole internet came from me and like, which I like knew what I was doing when I made the video, like who's gonna take me seriously? But my point was just like, I was so shocked by how little they make. And then people were like, you're so dumb, this is why. And I was like, I know why the WNBA makes so much less, but I just like can't believe Caitlin Clark signed a 4-year contract and she's making only $300,000 for 4 years total.
I know. But I didn't see the video and I don't know what the comments said, but well, I can believe that, I guess.
But I mean, like, I'm just like shocked that her starting 1 year salary is $76,000.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
I know.
sad.
It is sad, but it will change.
I hope so.
Well, no, okay, so are you caught up?
Yeah.
Okay. So the media deal will change, and they do rev shares. Like, I think the coolest part is that these women. I think the coolest part is that Caitlin Clark is putting them on the map, right? Like, she's done so much for women's basketball. Mm-hmm. And it's perfect that it's happening now, because when they go to renegotiate this media deal, it should be a lot bigger and better, but it wouldn't have been if the eyeballs weren't there, because it's not worth it for either side. But WNBA making $200 million a year versus the NBA, who makes $10 billion a year, there's going to be a massive discrepancy in what the players make. And then you have to realize in 2020, everything changed. Like, it's better now.
Yeah.
Like in 2020, everyone was so mad about what they were making, and they passed I think the rev share they make of the overall percent now is at like 9.3, and NBA is at 51%. And the women will incrementally be, when they renegotiate in 2025 a new media deal, I think they'll be 50%, which is a 20% increase year over year, which is what it should be. But it's like that money, I think people forget the money can't come from the sky. It has to, like, where's the money come from? The media deals.
Yeah.
And it's like 200 million versus 10 billion is just, it's not close. And it sucks, but it will change. And it can't change if they don't have eyeballs, and now they have eyeballs.
Well, that was like the point of my video too, is like, I think it's so cool that I'm not a sports person at all, but Caitlin Clark made me interested in watching women's basketball. I watched the finals, them against South Carolina. Like, I watched that whole game. I want to now go to a Liberty game. I want to be like, pay more attention to women's basketball, because I didn't know this, but like, even women's soccer, their starting person, their first year makes like $1 million.
Yeah.
And women's basketball, which you would think would make so much more, just mainly because of me just knowing how much NBA makes. But yeah, I was just like, this is crazy. But I think it's cool because Julie sent me a TikTok about the draft, and they're so supportive of one another.
Well, now people came for Caitlin so hard. The NBA players, a lot of them scrutinized. There was a divide like 2 weeks ago, because a lot of the current NBA players were saying like, good luck in the WNBA. Sorry, not NBA. The women, a lot of the women went and criticized Caitlin. And they were like, you're good now, honey, but wait till... So they actually were really... That was the whole thing when the finals was going on, was they were being... It was like nothing like girls not lifting girls up. And they were really pitted against each other. Yeah. But now in the draft, because the South Carolina coach was like, thank you, Caitlin Clark. Like, you put this sport on the map. And she did. She plays like Steph Curry.
Yeah.
But here we are comparing her to a guy. So they were really scrutinizing each other.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then during the draft, though, I can't remember her name.
The blonde one.
Yeah. So that, and then there was a couple others that did it. But no, a lot of the current WNBA players were like, good luck. And it was like, yo, she put the sport on the map.
She did. And I did see the South Carolina coach say that. And I was actually happy that South Carolina won, because I think that went and gave the coach an option to make it more of a supportive sport.
Yeah, if the Indiana coach would have said it, it wouldn't have meant as much. And like, good on the South Carolina. Why am I drawing a blank on her name for doing it? But I also think this media deal will be bigger because of stuff like this, and you need the internet to weigh in on it. Like that, all of it will translate to a bigger deal. But she says she thinks the Kathy whatever, the commissioner of the WNBA. So she was at Deloitte before. And they hired her. I was reading an article about her. Her strong suit is negotiating big media deals. And that's what they need to make more.
Oh.
So it'll be like a direct translation. So I'm excited about that. But like, I cannot wait to see what they renew it at. I think it's $60 million right now.
Is the WNBA season the same as the NBA?
No, it's shorter.
But like around the same timeline?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, around the same timeline.
When does it start?
But we got a whole problem with all this, because like the Masters, right? Like... there's like, at the golf course that they play at, there's 7 women members. Like, they didn't, and that season's not long enough for them to even be able to play at the Masters. So there's just this whole discrepancy.
I was really into the Masters too.
Oh, it was so good. Well, actually, it wasn't that good, but it was interesting.
Yeah, there's this Netflix documentary about PGA players, and Pete was watching it. So I started watching. I was like, oh, this is super interesting. And then I didn't realize, but that Tiger Woods was playing in the Masters again. And like his background is so fascinating, everything he's been through. And I'm just like, I was watching the Masters. I'm like, I'm enjoying watching golf right now.
Oh yeah, I bet big on Tiger. Well, actually, no, I didn't. I bet $7 on Tiger, and it had like a $1,200 payout because that's how. I love Tiger's story. He never doesn't make the cut, which is why he's like fun to bet on. But
Yeah.
The Masters this year, what I was so mad about what they did was they've never had the VIP tents. They've never sold the $10,000 tickets to get into the bougie, all these other sporting events, the Super Bowls, etc. They've kind of succumbed to that nature, like the club scene. And the Masters never have. Like you can still get your $3 pimento cheese sandwich there. But this year they like raised the prices. So the Masters, when you're in, has fixed concession prices. So like the sandwiches are always $3 and they have the classic potato chips. But they opened up the VIP tent this year and sold tickets for like $10,000. Sold out in a minute, of course.
Yeah.
But I was like, dang, like they were the one tried and true old school.
So PGA is a sellout.
Well, PGA, and then you got the whole live scenario. I mean,
Yeah. I know. I learned about live.
I could go down a golf like.
Pete taught me like a whole lesson about it. I was like, wow, this is fascinating.
It's fascinating, and then you gotta wonder, are other sports gonna do it? And I know one sport's thinking about doing it, and it's just like,
what sport?
NASCAR is always talking about, do they? And it's small enough ones like that can.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know what's happening, but sports is starting to interest me.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. If there's one thing we know for sure, it's that Jordyn and I are massive proponents of therapy because you never know what life's gonna throw at you. And sometimes you need a professional to talk you through things because, guys, we're just not meant to do things alone. So Jordyn and I do weekly therapy. We love it. The best part about BetterHelp is it's affordable. It's entirely online, and you can switch your therapist, a licensed therapist, at any time. So it's so convenient. It is so affordable. It's how therapy should be. And so you guys, I know when you're listening, if you're a Mean Girl Pod listener, you want to better yourself because we all have that in common. So go to BetterHelp.com and use promo code MEANGIRL for 10% off. That's BetterHelp.com. Promo code Mean Girl, because you guys prioritize yourself and your mental health, because there is nothing bigger and nothing better than that. Yeah, it's really, everything about sports is always fascinating because
the history is.
Yeah, and it evolves so fast, but then it doesn't at the same time. Like everyone just went up in arms about the salary of the women. But it was like, I've just known forever it's governed by their salaries are sanctioned by the something, which rules over them, which is directly like impacted by the media deals. So it's like, great guys, but this uproar is really good for them because their media deal will be bigger, which means their salaries will be bigger. And like, that's what we need.
We need more people talking about it.
Yeah.
More
wanting
eyes
to
on
watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this last Final Four did. People wanted to watch Caitlyn play. And then these women in the NBA were like, good luck.
That makes me very upset. It's like, just be happy that more people are watching the sport that pays your bills.
Totally.
Women
like,
not supporting women is just
$76,000 is like crazy when who just went to the Spurs? Who was the first round in the NBA? I can't remember, Victor something. But what, he signed like a $12 million contract?
Yeah.
Or 10, I can't remember, but it's like, so 76 to 10 million.
Yeah.
But again, 10 billion in revenue versus 200 million.
So we have to do a better job we have to support and put more eyes on their sports.
Yeah, we have to watch it. We have to watch the games.
Yeah. I will. I'm going to a Liberty game.
I'll watch too.
Do you know that the first game that the Liberty plays is Indiana?
No, really? Yeah. Good, though. That's incredible.
So Caitlin Clark will be, I'm hoping it's at the Barclays Center.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Versus Indiana.
I hope people go.
I'll go.
Good. I bet people will go. People, I do believe will.
So that'll be a good game. So hopefully it'll help. We'll see.
One time I was in Catch, the restaurant in LA, and this girl walked in, and I remember I turned to my mom, or maybe it was my dad, and I was like, oh, she looks like she could kick my ass. And my dad was like, yeah, Brittany Griner could kick your ass, Alex. And I was like, no shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She was so tall. I was like, whoa.
That's insane.
Yeah. They're like fascinating.
Yeah. No, really, it's very interesting. College athletes just fascinate me because I have no idea how they do it all. I mean, it's like they're working. Like they don't ever get like a normal childhood or adulthood or college experience. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Do you think they should get paid?
Oh God, this is a rabbit hole. I mean, I kind of think the amount of money they bring into some of these colleges, yeah, they should. They're working full time.
It is a full-time job.
And your college livelihood is taken from you.
Totally.
I mean, you don't even get a normal experience.
No, and you do make the schools a lot of money.
A ton of money. And they put the schools on the map. Like NDSU, Fargo, North Dakota, Carson, before Carson Wentz, no one even knew where Fargo, North Dakota was. No one even knew Fargo was a place. And now I say NDSU to anyone and they go, oh my God, the Bison, Carson Wentz.
Yeah, you don't think like Bama, like, oh, they have a good business school, right?
Yeah.
You either know a campus like because it's beautiful, right? Like a Duke, though, you do know that you have to be very smart to get in there.
Yeah.
But like these other schools, like I was just in Austin and I thought, I didn't know what UT undergrad was because I don't know anything about it other than typically they're good at football and golf because I knew Scotty Scheffler was from there. And so that's why I thought that was fascinating. But it's 70,000 undergrad, but it's like you don't know anything about the school other than the sports programs ever. But those athletes, other than a free education.
You say Roll Tide, everyone's going to know what that means. Why?
Totally.
Because of the sport.
Football. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So it is like fascinating to think about, but I can't decide on the payment thing.
We're a sports podcast now.
This is a sports pod.
Do you have Just Media updates?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about, I feel like we haven't touched on it in a really long time. And so I thought, because a lot of people are like, what's going on? And I'm like, well, there's nowhere else we really talk about it. So we'll tell you here.
Probably should promo.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
So I was just in Austin because we have a consulting client there. And a lot of people don't know, because we didn't do this before then, we had set up a consulting arm where like we help people set up podcasts. Mm-hmm. And I left and I was thinking like that was one of the most fulfilling things that I've done in a really long time is like teach our trade to somebody else. I can't, we're going to share one day like what these girls do and like why they're doing the podcast, but basically they don't have media backgrounds. And so it's such a cool part to be able to show them how to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we just don't ever say what we're doing at work. And so I thought that I would share that.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And you made a reel about it. So if people want more information, they can go to the Just Media page.
I did make a reel of that. Yep, that's because I just realized sometimes we do things and then there's some people that want help with podcasts, but if they don't know we do it, how would they know?
Exactly.
So we do consulting.
I have a question for you.
What?
If you had the opportunity, would you ever want to go to Coachella?
I was invited this year.
You were?
Yeah.
How?
Sam from, well now Sam, where do you work? You left Vayner.
Nylon.
Nylon. Yeah. I was invited to Coachella twice this year. I can't remember the other person. I would have gone 5 years ago. I don't have any desire to go anymore. What about you?
I have no desire. I think overall it's a cool idea, but it sounds just exhausting and painful, and like the what you get out of it doesn't exceed what you have to put into it.
I love ACL, Austin City Limits, because
is that a music festival?
Yeah, because logistically, like I know in Coachella you're staying in Palm Springs, but Coachella Valley is really far away from the Airbnb, so you have a 30-minute ride. You're getting dropped off somewhere. Like I love ACL. You can stay and you can walk 10 minutes, go in, listen to your two favorite artists. I love to stand in the back, and then I love to leave.
Yeah, the only way I would ever go to Coachella is if I was like invited to the all-inclusive VIP experience, because the idea of finding a way to get there and you have to stay all day, you don't get cell service, so you can't just like leave whenever you want, you can't leave your friends, and then figure out a way to get back and you're filthy, exhausted, hungry, thirsty, and then you do it all over again. I can't.
Yeah, I love the idea of a music festival in like a laid back way. Like, cause hearing multiple artists is cool.
Yeah.
And being outside, typically it's like good weather. Like that's a cool vibe for me. But the schlepping there and back, I want that to like make a lot of sense.
And I don't understand how the outfits work, because apparently it's extremely hot during the day, but freezing at night.
Oh.
So people have to like bring a change of clothes or something, because it's the desert. It gets so cold.
That's true. Yeah, that's stressful.
And technically people wear very little clothing to Coachella.
They do. They do. You only really think about the daytime. And I think it's like so warm.
I saw videos about that, how people were like, yeah, you don't think about what happens at night. And I'm like, yeah, it's super cold.
Totally. Yeah, no, I think, Coachella's like one for me I wouldn't go to. I would love to stagecoach. But again, I don't want to be in the riffraff. I would love to hear the music.
I want to be able to leave whenever I want to leave.
Yeah, and not lines and things like that I can't do anymore. But
yeah,
I do love the idea of like multiple artists at one time. Like back to back to back to back all day is like really cool. Just not in like an uncomfortable.
Yeah, I had asked because when this episode comes out, it's the last day of Coachella. So,
who's headlining?
I don't know who's headlining, but I know like Lana was there, Sabrina Carpenter, Renee Rapp.
See, this would not be my lineup.
Billie Eilish.
Okay, Billie would be great.
Did she guest with Lana? I would love to see Lana. I've seen Renee Rapp. She's incredible. Sabrina.
I think it's like odd. I don't know these people that well.
It's not really that odd.
I didn't know Coachella was happening right now though either. So,
anywho, let's get into today's episode.
Okay, missed that part.
So we're gonna start with a listener question because we're gonna be talking about relationship and friendship boundaries in this episode, and the listener question like helps move us in that direction.
And the listener question is presented by Field of Greens. Let's talk about Field of Greens. Jordyn is holding it, you guys. It tastes great. It is your entire fruit and veggie serving for the entire day, just in one scoop. One thing I've noticed by taking it is healthier hair and skin. And I know Jordyn has noticed so much that she's ordering it herself, even though they give it to us for free. It's like, doesn't actually make sense.
Well, so I went to Florida for like 3 weeks and I forgot it because in my head, I'm like, oh, I can survive 3 weeks without it. It's fine. Because sometimes I get nervous bringing powder because they'll take it from you.
Right.
I went to Florida. I didn't even last 3 days. I ordered it myself because my digestion has been on point with this. I feel just so much better and less bloated. And I couldn't go 3 days without it. So I literally ordered it. It came like the next day. And then my digestion was back on track.
If that is not the stamp of approval that you guys needed, then I don't know what is. Because this stuff is insane and it works. Especially if you're on the go and you're like, I didn't get my fruit for the day or my veggie serving. Like, it doesn't matter. And you can tell by what Jordyn just said, it really does work. So, we're so nice. We got you guys. Oh, I love this.
We're so nice.
We're so nice. This is the best thing ever, by the way. They do the 100% money back guarantee if you don't love your product. So, that's always just like put your money where your mouth is. But 15% off your first order plus free rush shipping. So, if you get in a pinch like Jordyn, don't worry because they will rush it to your door because they know how good it is. So, visit fieldofgreens.com. Use promo code MEANGIRL. That's promo code MEANGIRL at fieldofgreens.com. Go get in on all the good stuff, you guys.
Tips, what you need to know before moving with boyfriend. Moving with my boyfriend and his brother after 1.5 years. Really excited and absolutely love him. Just want to make sure we set correct expectations of each other and go over things before moving in together. Okay, so you're moving in with your boyfriend and his brother.
Yeah, can't consult on the brother part, can consult on the boyfriend part.
Yeah.
The best tip I ever got about moving in with the opposite sex is what you do at the beginning is what you will do your whole life. So if you don't want to be the one that puts the dishes in the dishwasher in 5 years, don't do it at the beginning.
I love that.
So really sit down and think about like, okay, if I make the bed every day, he's going to know I make the bed every day. Mm-hmm. Or like, so really set the precedent ground rules day one because they're going to maintain forever.
Yeah, I have similar, I don't live with Pete, but like I spend like almost every night there. And something that we established in the beginning of the relationship is everything's going to be 50-50. So if he cooks dinner, I clean. If I cook dinner, he cleans. Because like you said, however it's established when you first start dating is how it's always going to be. And also like getting our routine figured out in the morning. Like he allows me to go in the bathroom first. Like if we both get up at the same time, he allows me to go in first. And then he's the kitchen and then we swap.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just like little things like that where all of a sudden you get up at the same time and you're bumping heads in the bathroom. Like that can cause a lot of fights.
Yeah. And it's just like having the peace of it.
When I lived with my boyfriend of 5 years, I was always the first person up, shower, get ready. Like I had a standard routine. He was like, sometimes he'll get up at 7, sometimes it'd be 8. Frustrated me so much because he always got in my way because I was like, I do the same thing every day.
Right.
And if I do the same thing every day, I think that you should do a routine. Like, you can't just do whatever you want every day. And like, his schedule would get in the way of mine, and we would get in such big fights because of it.
Right.
So you got to establish a routine together in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You really do. That's so true. And one thing I've learned with Harrison is like things that I thought were really big to me just aren't that big. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. But okay, for example, when he gets out of the shower, he doesn't like towel off all the way. Like, I get out of the shower so dry because in the shower I take my towel and I like wipe off. There's no water on the floor.
Oh, you're an in the shower dryer.
Because I hate water on the floor. Drives me crazy. And when you wipe it up, then if the floor is dirty at all, then I'm mopping the floor. So and he'll like drip sometimes.
Okay.
And I'll be like, why are you dripping?
I'm a dripper.
Yeah. And he'll be like, do you realize there's not like a actual right way and a wrong way? And I'll be like, no shit. Of course there's not.
Yeah.
So I just have to get over the water on the floor because it's like literally not a problem.
Yeah.
But so that's just like a small example of like things that I used to be like, these are non-negotiables. And it's like, who the hell cares? Not me.
Yeah. You really gotta, like, I think most people, they're like, okay with this because I would say the majority of the population has roommates sometime in their life.
Totally.
But having roommates teaches you like things you don't need to make a big deal about. And I think when you're in a relationship, you have to realize that person will never do things exactly like you do. So you have to learn to pick your battles.
Yes. And like my mom taught me that dishes go in the dishwasher.
Same.
Yeah, but his didn't. His were like, get it in the sink, get it clean. And then one day we put everything in the dishwasher. One of them's not illegal.
Yeah.
They're just different.
Like before bed, I'm someone who cleans everything up, then goes to bed. Pete doesn't think to do that. Not worth the fight because it doesn't bother him. So I just do it.
Right, exactly. It's not worth the fight. Like Harrison, when we get back, unpacks both of us. Like he's cleaner, puts things up. And it's like, I'm so thankful for that goodness gracious, can I get those dishes because it drives me crazy, but it doesn't drive him crazy.
Yeah.
And most people don't care at all.
Yeah. But I think it's like if you're moving in with your boyfriend and his brother, you have to establish boundaries not only with your boyfriend, but also his brother.
Real boundaries.
And like, I don't know their living situation, if it's like 2 bed, 3 bed, 2 bathroom, 1 bathroom, an apartment, a townhome. But I think like you gotta sit down and like, I think you just have to build a routine with each other.
Yeah. And I would just have a combo. For some reason, I'm assuming the brother's just like a problem.
Oh, yeah,
but he's
maybe.
not. Like he could just be like the best and so clean or cook or something.
Yeah.
So hopefully, the 3 of them get in step together.
Yeah. I think, you just got to communicate.
Totally. And you're the girl, so you just be the little fairy that helps everybody get on the same page.
Speaking of boundaries with friends and boyfriends, this was something that got brought up to the Mean Girl Pods page. And it's so interesting, but sharing your locations with your friends or your partner and your thoughts around that.
Okay. This is one I have a thought on.
Let's hear it.
So, like 2 months ago, I was like, do you want to share locations with each other to Harrison? And he was like, all right, get this. Because he's like, I'm open either way. But here's a scenario where he says, I'm going to be home at 6 p.m. See you after work. But at 5, him and the boys go and get beers. And then I'm trying to find him, and I look online, and I see he's at a bar. Well, I'm like, no, because you said you were coming home after work. But he just was going about his day and didn't do anything wrong. Just didn't, like, report what he was doing. So then I go to skepticism in my head. And it's like, then he gets home, and I'm like, why are you at the bar? And he's like, holy shit, I didn't even think, like, he meant no harm by it, right?
Was he still home at 6 o'clock?
This is just a scenario.
But in the scenario, is he still home at 6
he's
o'clock?
home at 6.
Oh, okay.
But at 5, he said he's coming home from the office, and it's just like he took it on a whim. Happy hour, literally no problem. And I do that all the time. I will constantly just be like, you'll never believe what I did today. But it could come off like somebody was lying.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they weren't. And so I think, but then I was talking to him about it 2 days ago, and he's like, but now we should totally share locations. So it was the first time I had thought about how it could be harmful.
Yes.
Because I think the most obvious thing is like share for safety reasons. But then I just thought a good caveat of it was early on, it could breed a lot of skepticism before there's like this unwavering trust.
Yeah, sharing your locations is one of the most toxic things that was like given to us, because I agree. For privacy's sakes, yes, I hate sharing my location with people because I hate having to explain myself.
Yes.
With Pete, 1,000%, and with my roommate, 1,000%, because roommate situation, if she's getting home at 3 a.m. and I hear the door open, I need to know if it's her or a burglar.
Right.
With Pete, I love to know from a safety standpoint, like, are you at the airport? Did you make it? Other than that, if I don't hear from you for 3 hours, like, are you still at work, hopefully? But I think it can get so toxic in friendships, because if my friends ask me to hang out on the weekend and I say I'm busy, I don't need them to know like why I'm busy. Or if I say I'm busy today and they're like, why are you just home all night? I'm like, maybe I just want to lay in my bed all night long.
Yeah.
So I absolutely hate that that's even a thing. And I don't like to share my location with anyone.
I know. And I think so I think about that app that kids have these days that tells their parents if they're even speeding. Yeah, what's it called? Oh, gosh.
I know what you're talking about, though.
All my little cousins have it.
We don't need to know all this information.
I know. App that tracks your speed.
Like the Allstate app?
Life 360?
Yes, Live 360. It'll tell your parents where you drove, what time you drove, and it'll be like red if they're speeding. You can't sneak out anymore, which we need.
You need to as a kid.
You gotta learn.
I never have, but you need, I never have actually, but you need to.
I also I snuck out one time for a Waka Flocka concert, and I came home and told my mom.
Waka Flocka Flame?
Yes, and I came home and I was like, I went to the concert. I was just like, I've snuck out. But it's like, as a kid, you need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because here's the other problem. Now if the kids are sneaking out, they're leaving their phones at home. Mm-hmm. Not safe.
No.
That's worse. So I'm just like, let the kids kind of be a kid. But I also understand, if your child got taken, you'd want to know where they were. So I hate this much information sharing.
Yeah. Also too, with locations, I hate knowing where my friends are too, because sometimes I'll see a couple of my friends together and I didn't get the invite, but it was never vindictive. It was just because they maybe just wanted to hang out.
It's harmless.
But and I see it, I'm like, well, now I have FOMO. I don't want to see my friends' locations.
No, I knew she was over there. What? Just let her be over there.
Yeah.
Harrison today is in LA. I have no idea what the kid's doing all day, but I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Don't want to know the lineup.
Let him tell you.
Yeah. It's more fun for me to be like, what'd you do today? And here's what I would hate too. I say, what'd you do today? Someone tells me 3 things. Well, they left out number 4, that they went to the farmer's market just because they weren't thinking of it. And I'm like, really? And it's just no one means this much harm.
Yeah. I remember during COVID, all of us, this is when I think sharing locations became a thing. I'm not sure why, because everyone was home. But I talked about this with Violet Benson. I had that one friend where it became a very toxic relationship and one of the things with sharing locations, I had to tell her, I was like, I actually had to make up a lie, and I told all my friends that my therapist told me I need to stop sharing my locations, have boundaries with my friends. But in reality, I just needed a way to escape from her, because she would check my location and be like, what are you doing at the store? What are you doing at your parents'? How long are your parents? I'm like, how do you know I'm at my parents'? And I'll be like, oh my God, you're checking my location.
Yeah, we do not need to know.
And she would call me out. She's like, I thought you weren't going to go to your parents today. I'm like, I can go to my parents whenever I want.
Yeah, we are adults. You can do what you want. And more often than not, especially with friends, I would say no.
Yeah.
Because just let us do our thing.
Just let me live.
Back in the day, no one knew where anyone was. They had to call when he got home on the home phone. I mean, we're not meant to be this intertwined.
Would you ever share with your parents?
I used to share with my parents. And then one time, my mom asked me, why I was somewhere. And I was just like, what? How do you know? But whenever I was single, my mom really did want me to share it, because she just was kind of who's looking out for you.
Yeah.
And I thought that was nice. But other than that, no, I don't share it with anybody, I don't think.
Yeah, I think I don't share with my parents. I kind of want theirs out of a safety standpoint, but I just want Pete's and my roommate.
Yeah.
And it's just from a safety standpoint.
Right. And I'm realistically not going to check it for safety, so I just don't want it.
Yeah. Well, you disappear sometimes, so
yeah,
Harrison might need yours.
I know. I'm my phone's probably at home and I'm probably not, so that's more apt to happen. I'm just going to sink or swim on my own. But actually, a really interesting article I read about kids with phones today and how if you get a phone before your brain, like your frontal lobe is fully developed, it's... Oh, dang. It's going to take me a second to remember. But anyways, it's really harmful for you because we're not hardwired to like let so many people into our lives at that point and like understand that social media even exists. They're saying like it's toxic to know that Instagram is like there's a way to know what everybody else on the other side of the world's doing.
Yeah.
Because it succumbs you to like other opinions and depression really early on. So like our depression rates have skyrocketed as phones have gone lower. So like when our frontal lobes developed, the iPhone wasn't a thing yet and Instagram wasn't invented yet. So our age's depression rates are a lot lower than they are today. But today they're opening their lives up and they're comparing them to so many more. And it's like, that's so dangerous.
Yeah.
And so I think that the pendulum's swinging the opposite way on like social media and it's just like way more toxic out there than it used to be, but it really affects the kids. And it will forever now moving forward because every generation lower, the earlier on they get a phone, the more that they have that in their lives.
I'm so grateful that we didn't have iPhones until we were like in high school.
We're like the last ones though.
Yeah.
Like Gen Z had them.
Yeah.
Millennials, we didn't. We got it, Instagram, Twitter, I remember senior year of high school.
Yeah. I know we got Snapchat my freshman year of college.
And it wasn't even then. That was just a way to like send Instagram used to just be a place you really posted a digital photo album for yourself.
Yeah.
Now it's this whole what's everyone doing thing. And it's like getting that when you're 11 years old is crazy.
Knowing how to compare yourself when you're a child is so toxic.
There's that L'Oreal ad of like a little girl 10 years old versus 10 years old today. And the 10 years old today is like ice rolling and like she looks older. And our 10-year-old version like has a lollipop.
Yeah.
And it's like you're supposed to stay young in your formative years and they're not anymore. And I thought it was cool L'Oreal did that in this culture where everyone's pushing growing up faster. They were like, stay young, like embrace that because your brain, it really does need it. We need it too.
Yeah.
Even as adults. But we're lucky that I think it's like 20% higher. It's crazy.
God.
Yeah.
Do you and Harrison have any like set boundaries you have with each other to help your relationship be more healthy?
No. I think he would hear the word boundary and be like, what?
What's a boundary?
He's like inherently kind of like a boundary. Gosh, I learn a lot from him all the time. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like set things. He just doesn't let me get away with a lot. Like he's just really good for me in the sense of like he'll just put me in my place so fast. And vice versa. We're good for each other in that manner, but not really like boundaries.
Yeah.
No, I just kind of hold myself, like I still put my phone up. I still read in the morning.
You have great self boundaries.
Yeah, I've got my screen time down so low these past like 3 months. Like I can be like 4 hours as an average. I used to be like 11.
I remember you used to always have like a set morning boundary routine where I don't think you like looked at your phone until 9 and you journaled, then you put your phone down at like 8.
Yeah. And that's gone away a little bit with work, but like there's no scrolling for me.
Yeah.
I've really put it up. I read when I can. I'm not letting that in, which is good.
I love that.
But what I used to do is like if my phone was out, I needed yours down. And it's like, no, I just need mine down for me. You
do whatever you want.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have any boundaries?
Not many. The only boundary I can think of, and like I'm very lucky because I feel like I'm just in like an extremely healthy relationship, would be on Sundays. Like I ask him to like not talk about like social media or content too much because like that is our job.
Right.
Because it makes my like brain swirl and like I kind of get the scaries of like things we have to do. So like we try not to talk about work on Sundays. And then just like really good communication boundaries of like always being able to like talk about anything. Like if we're like it's more of just like, we don't really have boundaries, more of just like rules of like never go to bed angry. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm angry, he knows I need a second, not to like come at me right away. Like never let the other one walk away when they're angry, just like stuff like that.
Right. Little just like practices more so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I can't think of one boundary.
I feel like any relationship I've had a ton of boundaries with, they're not really relationships in my life anymore.
Yeah, I know. I think of little things where I'll try to be like there's times where I'll be like, this is my like zen zone. Can you turn your volume off? And he's just like, bro, zen over there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not zenning. And I'm like, right. Like I don't need to take you down with me.
Yeah.
As you don't ever embark on my journey. Like,
yeah.
And he's just like, I'm not zenning ever.
Especially like in New York where like your room is everyone's room.
Yeah. He's just like, in what world? And I'm like, right. So it's funny. Made me just like a little, one thing though that he is good at, it's not a boundary by any means, but it's just like direct and honest communication, which I always thought that I had in relationships, but he's it to like a pry, like what's below that and what's below that feeling and the root cause of that is. And that sort of trained my brain to go there, which I like, but no boundaries. Not Love one. That. I can't think of one. I tried to say you couldn't get out of the shower wet. It just backfired. Yeah.
I'm trying to... I like can't even think of like any funny ones that he would have for you.
I'm trying... I
don't know.
No, I tried to say you have to throw food out in the fridge. It's not expired, so you don't.
I'm dead.
Okay, wait, that's so interesting. What do you mean everyone that you had a boundary with, you're not friends with anymore?
Wait, again. So it's gone.
Mom just dribbling monster everywhere. Okay, wait. So fascinating. What do you mean? What?
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at you.
I want the day to be over.
I know. In reality, we stopped because Alex had to get water, and Julie was like, "You should talk about what you just said." Alex is trying to like act it out, and we don't do well when we're trying to act.
Trying to act it out. I'm sorry.
So what we were talking about was, I said any relationship I had a lot of boundaries, and I'm not. Those people aren't in my life anymore, from boyfriends to maybe family members to friends, because I feel like if you have to set a ton of boundaries, to me, when you set boundaries with people, it's healthy no matter what. Like, you should have boundaries to some degree with like multiple people in your life. But if you have boundary after boundary, it sounds like that person keeps doing things that could be toxic, that's hurting you. And it gets to the point where it's just too much or too exhausting for them to be in your life.
No, I agree with that. I'm also the same. I'm trying to think of somebody that I have boundaries and set with. Mm-hmm. Also, just like, it does sound exhausting to have to obey the boundary.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Like, we're not really meant to be boundaried in. You know what it is? I think the older you get, the more you just take responsibility for yourself, and we're less like in each other's business.
Yeah.
But you're so right. It was probably a toxic situation that it's like, you don't need that anymore.
Well, I just think about like in high school, like the boys you date, and you have like boundaries, like don't talk to this girl, like let me see your phone, blah, blah. It's like, that's all so toxic.
Correct.
Or like that one friend I had so many boundaries with because she was such a toxic friend where I'm like, no, like we just can't be friends anymore.
Right. And you think about why you had to put a boundary. I think about like my best friends, and I'm like, I don't have any boundaries in place with them where I'm like, don't ask me about X, Y, Z. It's like, who the fuck's asking you that? Right. Or checking your location, or calling you on. If you were not where you said you were, I would just be like, okay, and?
Yeah, it's not my business. I don't care.
Right. But it is your business if Pete's not there. Yeah. Yeah, like then we can wonder. But past that, it's just like, who let them live?
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like I'm just at the point in my life where if a friendship is exhausting, I'm over the whole, like when you're younger, like cut them out of your life fully. But I'm at the point where I'm like, I'll just let a slow sizzle of removing them.
Yeah, and it's most times not that dramatic.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'll get together with you in groups, but I'm not gonna like meet you for one-on-one dinners anymore. Like have sleepovers or wine nights. Like,
no, right, totally.
I mean, I don't have sleepers with any of my friends, but you know what I mean,
right?
Like,
no, I totally get it. I do think, I bet a lot of people will resonate with that though. That they're like, oh yeah, anyone I had boundaries with, or if they still have them with somebody. If you think about why that is, it is just usually exhausting.
Yeah.
Because you have to keep track of it.
Relationships should not be exhausting.
No, they should really be an additive, and a lot of them can be.
And I know, yeah, and like unfortunately, I know like with family and stuff, actually I heard Brittany Schmidt say this on the last episode of This Is the Worst. She was talking about how it's okay to remove family members from your life if they're toxic and don't respect your boundaries.
Totally.
And what she said really resonated. I don't have any family members I don't talk to, but like, so like just because someone is your blood does not mean you have to keep them around if they're exhausting.
Not at all. And if they don't treat you like a friend would treat you, then you don't have to tolerate that because you have a bloodline with them.
Exactly.
You can really call them on that or hold them to a higher standard. And I think people grow.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of families aren't used to that. You know, like your mom, a lot of times your punching bag.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Because she's your mom and she'll automatically forgive you. No, I mean, she will, but it's like you don't get to treat her like shit because of that.
Yeah.
It's not like that's not a byproduct.
And I feel like too, as you're growing up, you start to set more boundaries with your parents. Like, Mom, you can't ask me that question. Like, you can't ask me if I have a boyfriend until I tell you I have a boyfriend.
Right. You might not get to know
Until I'm ready.
Right. No, it's so true.
Boundaries are very interesting.
They are. They used to be a hot topic and like a hot thing to do. I remember like my therapist like 3 years ago would be like, set a boundary. And I had so many boundaries I couldn't keep track.
Boundaries are out for 2024.
They are. And then I'm like, who am I supposed to have a boundary with? And then turns out I probably just didn't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I have a quick listener questions from a guy. It's like a simple one. But I was like, I feel like last time we had a listener question from a guy, like the guys were like, we want to hear more questions from us.
Totally.
Where'd you go? Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is from a guy. What do you think of men having bachelorette parties at strip clubs? P.S. I'm a guy.
Strip clubs.
Yeah. What do you think about guys having bachelorette parties? Or sorry, bachelor parties.
What do you think?
I could care less. I trust, like, I'm just use Pete. Like, I trust Pete beyond belief. So you go do you, and like, God forbid you do cheat on me, like, then, well, you just weren't meant to be my person.
Yeah, I couldn't care less.
Same.
And here's the thing. If they want to go to the strip club, you got a whole other, like, fine, too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, fine, do your thing, right? Have fun with the boys. It's like a traditional thing to do. But also, I can't, a lot of guys, bachelorette parties these days, they're going to the clubs.
Yeah.
You know, and let me tell you what, go to the club, but the table next to them is a whole hell of a lot hotter than that strip club is.
Also, if he wants to cheat on you, he's gonna cheat on you.
Right. And I don't always think strip club equals cheating.
No.
Like a lot of times you can go there, get really cheap pitchers of beer, throw ones at people, and it's like a hilarious experience, you know, and it's like you checked the box.
I also think stripping is a form of entertainment.
Totally.
And it's like, how is stripping different than people going to a fashion show, seeing women walk in lingerie, or going to a concert where someone is wearing practically nothing?
You got more problems at the South Beach pool, I promise you, than you do a strip club.
Yeah, people in bikinis.
Those girls, and they are hot.
Yeah.
So it's like, you gotta trust him in general no matter what. If he told you he's going to the strip club, kudos to him.
Yeah.
And like, do your thing, 21. Just like throw some respect on it.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less. But I think bachelor parties these days, like actually going on a boat with all your friends is like way more fun than the strip club.
Oh my God, I'm going to a bachelorette party at a cabin up north. I'm so excited. I'm like, that sounds like way more fun than going to a bar or a club.
Yeah, like my brother's on his right now in Cabo.
Where is he?
He's in Cabo.
Sick.
And he's like, we rented a boat. And I'm like, that's what the guys, or that's where you like want to put your money.
Yeah.
You know, like a boat day with the guys just like getting drunk and you're like 33 now. Like that's what they want to do.
Also, guys like love spending quality time together.
They are gonna, my mom was like, should we call and like, should I send them something? And I'm like, they want to just hang out in the sunshine.
Yeah.
They will walk to restaurants. Like no one, that's all you want these days.
They want to bro out.
Yes. And they want to do it on the boat with good music and just shooting the shit. And they
Beer.
will. Yeah. I'm like, go to Cabo Wabo and take a billion shots.
Did you say Cabo Wabo?
Cabo Wabo, isn't that, what's that thing on, no, the deck. The deck's on the beach. What's on the beach? Well, Cabo Wabo's in town. The bar.
I've never been to Cabo.
Oh, there's actually a famous bar called Cabo Wabo. I was like, no, I mean, it's kind of college-y. But there is, I think the deck's on the beach. I can't remember.
I'm dead.
Cabo's a blast.
I want to go really bad.
Yeah, it's just hard to get to from here.
Yeah. Okay, Rex. What's your
Okay.
rec?
Did I do Palm Royale or did I write that for last time?
You wrote it last time, but we didn't get to Rex last time because we forgot.
I'm
crazy.
so excited because both my shows, a new show, like I get a new one tonight. But Palm Royale and John Sugar, they're both on Apple Plus.
Wait, what's John Sugar? I've heard of Palm Royale.
John Sugar he's like a private detective who finds missing people. Ooh. But like with the fun spin. Yeah, so he's got a case that I'm following. But it's a show. It's a TV show.
Would I like it?
I think so.
Would I like Palm Royale?
Yes. I think you would like John Sugar more. Palm Royale just has my attention because I've watched the shows right now.
Okay.
No, Palm Royale's good. Have you seen The Gentleman?
I couldn't get into it.
My group text also says to watch that.
Is John Jon?
Yeah, or John maybe. No, the show's called Sugar. It's just his last name.
Oh, I was like, I can't find John Sugar.
Sugar.
Oh, with Colin Farrell.
Yes.
You know what I always forget about? Apple TV.
Oh, it's the only thing I'm logged into right now. I accidentally logged out of everything else, so that's why I'm watching these two.
Did you ever watch Apples Never Fall on Peacock?
No, I haven't watched it yet, but I told Sydney to watch it, and she watched it.
You got to watch it.
Still got to watch it. Okay, what's your rec?
Okay, have you ever seen Laguna Beach?
Yes.
I had never seen it, and I just started it.
Oh.
I'm literally obsessed.
I've watched it twice.
So I have seen maybe 1 or 2 episodes of The Hills. And obviously I know like Heidi, Spencer, Lauren, Kristen, Steven. Like I don't live under a rock. But I never watched Laguna Beach.
It is so good.
Also, it's so fascinating because like MTV, because I'm also listening to Steven and Kristen's podcast where they break down every episode.
Yeah.
And they just MTV just went to this school and was like casting people on campus. And then the Super Bowl happened where Janet Jackson's boob came out and then MTV was involved in that. So the school was like, you aren't allowed to film on campus anymore. So they just like went behind their backs and only filmed the kids on weekends.
It's like...
And they casted them.
And wait, you're not at the last episode, are you?
I'm on season 2, but Kristen and everyone else is not on season 3.
Okay, let me know when you're at the very end.
I'm pretty much at the very end, so you can just tell me. I'm on like episode 12 out of 18.
Oh, I was gonna say I watched them both. Okay, you watched The Hills. Were they moving the screen out? Am I spoiling that? Okay.
Don't tell me.
Okay. Yeah.
I literally...
It will make no sense if that made no sense.
I was watching Laguna Beach with Madeline, and I was like, yeah. And then Lauren goes to New York and starts a show called The Hills, and she goes, you do realize The Hills is because of Hollywood Hills. And I go, oh, I thought she was in New York.
No, she's driving up to LA to be the magazine. Golly, I followed all. It's so good.
Well, and now I'm like obsessed with like Kristen, and I was looking at who everyone follows, and like Kristen and Steven were saying that like they didn't talk when she was with Jay Cutler.
They didn't.
And then now like they're friends again. Steven's engaged to a different girl.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But like Kristen and Steven posted a picture like last year when they started the podcast. It was the most liked picture on Kristen's page. And I am so fascinated by them.
I was hoping for a comeback when they posted that picture.
You know what though? Kristen never really liked Steven.
You don't think?
He was obsessed with her throughout the whole season, but she was just like...
She was always too old. Not too old, but always older than the rest around her.
She was always like needing the quarterback of the football team.
Always. And then, or dated a guy in college when she was in high school.
Yeah.
She was that bad girl.
And she's also stunning. Mm-hmm. She looks the same as she did in high school.
The exact same.
Also, like, why did everyone hate her and love Lauren Conrad? Because I love Kristen, and I don't really like Lauren.
Elsie to me is a little bit boring.
Well, also, Elsie's kind of like a pick-me guy's girl, and like, Kristen's like a girl's girl. She's like, Jessica, Jason cheats on you, he sucks, you're way better than him, you deserve better, blah, blah, blah.
Well, they painted Kristen out to be the bad, like, she talks about that.
Yeah.
How, like, she was painted out to be the villain. But I think it was Spencer who was like, if you watch it when you're older, you don't think that as much.
Yeah.
But when you watch it when you were closer to their age, like when I watched it for the first time, she was the villain.
And Lauren was like the good girl.
Yes, Lauren was, but the older you get, the further away you give her. Kristen's refreshing.
Yes.
Elsie, you're like, she's kind of fake.
Also, too, like, when I was younger, I remember Lo Bosworth, but like no one talked to her because she was boring. I'm like, she is like the cutest, sweetest thing in this episode. She's like the true good girl.
Yeah, she was so Switzerland always.
Yes.
I did like her, but then I kind of forgot about her, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's fascinating too
Not in a
because
bad way, but
they which we both should know this because like we did like the Barstool reality show, so we like understand how it's all like how it all works. But she was saying that like everything that was clipped wasn't a consistent timeline. So like when Steven was talking to Lauren, he wasn't actually talking to Kristen. Then they were fully broken up, but they made it look like they were talking the same day. Or like they would make them, after the whole season was done, they would make them come back and do these clips. I forgot what they called them.
Yes.
And they would film like 6 months later, like these inputs that they would put in to make there be more drama on the show.
Yeah, totally. And I could so see them, like it makes for a good show.
Yeah.
But I'm sure those girls and guys like did not give them that level of drama at the time.
No.
But those producers were geniuses.
Guess how much they made their first season?
How much?
It was either $1,500, I think.
That is so crazy.
First season.
Which probably felt like a ton to them at the time.
Yeah.
But like...
Also, what world
wild.
would these parents be like, yeah, I want my 17-year-old daughter to be on this show?
Well, especially LC's parents, because like her seemed the most involved.
Isn't her dad like a bajillionaire too?
I think he's an architect.
Yeah, but he's like very
like
wealthy.
a good one. But I think at the time, the reason that they said okay was because there was nothing like that out yet. So there was you didn't really understand what your kids were signing up for.
Yeah.
And I think when they held the casting thing at the school, didn't it become like people, it's like trying out for Palm.
Yeah.
It was like a compliment to get it. And then they did kind of backdoor some of them.
But yeah, so long story short, I'm very obsessed, very invested. And by the time we film next week, I'll probably be on the hills.
I wish I was watching it for the first time. I'm jealous.
Watch it tonight.
Well, I basically have it memorized.
Okay.
That is like one show I did watch, and then when I moved out to Newport, I rewatched it all. But like to watch something, like I always say, like I wish I could watch. Who's the coach, the football coach?
Friday Night Lights.
No, the guy, Ted Lasso. I always say I wish I could watch Ted Lasso for the first time, and I'm jealous of someone seeing things for the first time.
Wait, question quick. How far is Newport from Laguna Beach?
20 minutes.
Okay, so it's like all in the same. Like
same thing.
You probably have seen the things that they like filmed.
I saw Elsie's house. Oh, I saw all of it. Yeah, I saw the restaurant, like the whole thing.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, the school. Like I just lived in that little realm, but.
Well, I'll keep you posted on my Laguna Beach Hills journey.
Let me know on the last episode of The Hills what you think.
Okay.
It broke. People's brains broke. The last scene.
Oh, great.
Julie knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, now I'm really invested.
I remember seeing it just being like, what? Like I was like crying.
I'm not going to bed tonight.
Yeah, get there.
Okay.
I probably over dramatized it now.
I don't think so based off of Julie's reaction.
She knows. Everyone knows that's seen it. Everyone knows. I could text my group text and they hadn't seen it in 10 years, say what's the last scene, and they'll all know.
I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah. It's nice you've made it this far without knowing. Spoiling that for someone that hasn't seen it is really messed up.
Yep. No one tell me, please.
Yeah, don't tell her.
Okay. Well, that's a wrap.
Yay. Bye, guys.
And that's a wrap of episode of Laguna Beach.
Okay, that's it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening to Mean Girl Pod, powered by Just Media House. I'm Alex Bennett.
And I'm Jordyn Woodruff. So, AB, do what you do best.
If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. We are at Mean Girl Pod on all platforms. Stay connected with us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat at Mean Girl Pod. Podcast and social artwork and post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Theme song to the Mean Girl Pod performed by Sergi Asbel. Mean Girl Pod, we're your besties in your ear. New episodes every Monday.